Welcome to episode 10. This is the 10th episode on the road, the loan signing system. I'm here with Debra from North Carolina. How are you doing today, Debra?
Doing great. How about you, Mark?
Good. I'm excited to inspire people. What makes today's episode so amazing is Debra is in North Carolina, which is an attorney state. All the big things I always get, Debra, is you can't make money in attorney state as a signing agent. There's no signing agents aren't allowed to do signings in attorney states. So I would like to talk through your journey of being a signing agent in an attorney state and to inspire attorney state signing agents. Debra makes $5,000 to $6,000 a month like clockwork in an attorney state. How awesome is that, Debra?
Pretty awesome.
Okay, so before we start, I want to put out a huge disclaimer. Debra is not an attorney. Anything in this conversation is not supposed to be construed as legal advice. Please follow your state laws. What Debra is going to share today has what worked for her. What she is saying in here is not meant to be any type of legal advice. It's just sharing her experiences. And hopefully her experiences can help you get business in the attorney state that you live in. Obviously, this episode is speaking to signing agents who live in attorney states. I'm going to put a link in the bio, the link in the comments below to an attorney state blog that I made. So if you're wondering if you're in an attorney state, I'll have that in the show notes below. But once again, everything in here is not meant to be any type of legal advice. Debra is not an attorney. She's simply having a conversation with me that ideally will help you build your business if you're in an attorney state such as Georgia, such as Alabama, such as Connecticut, such as New York, such as South Carolina, and North Carolina. So now the legal disclaimers are out. Let's try to inspire some attorney state signing agents that they could also make $5,000 a month. How awesome is that? $5,000 a month. And how long have you been a signing agent? Let me ask you that.
A little less than a year. I started in August of last year, 2018. I had no industry experience at all. So yeah.
So let me just get that out like really quick. So you were never a notary, you were never a mortgage officer, never an attorney, never in the title business. You just learned how to be a signing agent, and now you're making $5,000 to $6,000 a month.
That's correct. I had no industry experience, knew nothing about it. Listened to a podcast where you were actually speaking and realized that this could potentially be the thing that I was looking for. So I explored it a little bit more, and that's how I'm here.
Awesome, awesome. So for another person who may be watching this saying, man, Debra, I haven't been in the workforce for 10 years. I've been an engineer for 20 years. I've been a waitress or a bartender, and they're feeling a little nervous about jumping in. What would you say about the learning curve? Could anyone learn it? What's your opinion, trying to inspire somebody?
Actually, yes, you can learn it pretty quickly. There is no, I don't think there's a barrier of not being able to move forward pretty quickly if that's your track that you want to be on. I literally bought the course, learned everything I could about it from listening to your videos and your teachings, and then I got my commission for North Carolina right after that. So yeah,
that's a cool journey. So you got the course. I'm sorry, go on.
I said, it hit the ground running in August with signings right away, implementing everything that you said implement. It truly works. So yeah.
Well, that is really cool. So, let's talk about that, because I think everyone who's in an attorney state right now wants to know like what works, right? So what I'm hearing you say is, because what I teach are marketing principles, whether you're in an attorney state or escrow state, title state, marketing as a signing agent, marketing a signing agent. So are you saying that the principles that, not only I teach, and I'm not the only person who teaches signing agent marketing, right? And so my point I'm trying to make is, the principles that I teach do work in attorney state.
Right. Absolutely.
Okay, cool. So let's talk about that. I know everyone who's in attorney state is chomping at the bits. Let's talk about this. Are you able to get direct business in attorney state? Meaning, are you able to market to attorneys as a signing agent? And are you able to get the fee where you're not losing a portion of that to the signing service and you're taking the entire signing fee?
Yes, you can. You can definitely get the business from an attorney without having to go through a signing service. You just have to build that relationship as you teach.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So for an attorney state student right now, or an attorney state signing agent, kind of walk me through how that direct signing, the actual appointment looks as far as the attorney being involved. Once again, this is not legal advice. This is just Debra Smith's experience of a closing in an attorney state. I'm going to say that disclaimer a few times to people, just because Debra's experience doesn't mean it's the only experience out there. And so I just want to make sure I make those disclaimers. Thank you again for being so generous with your time and knowledge. So talk me through, or walk someone watching this through, what a signing looks like in an attorney state getting direct business.
Basically, you get the call that there's a direct signing that they want you to do. And the attorney actually literally is on the call for maybe 5 minutes, giving you an overview and giving the borrower or the signers an overview of questions that they may have. And then they turn it over to you to actually complete the closing.
Okay, cool. So this is great. So basically, you get to the borrower's house, the first 5, 10, whatever minutes takes, the attorney's actually directing, having the conversation, telling the borrowers whatever legalese that needs to be taken. And then once that 5 or 10 minutes is done, then you get to your job of simply pointing and signing and telling them where they need to send the loan documents. And then you take that set of loan documents, take it right back to the attorney, and you get paid.
That's true.
Like, bam, bam, right? So I hope some attorney state students are being inspired that you can get direct business. Now, let's talk about when most of your appointments occur on a direct, because we're going to get to signing service, because a lot of your business does come from signing services. But I want to maybe inspire a signing agent that lives in North Carolina that they should start approaching real estate attorneys and get out of their own head that it's not possible to get direct business in an attorney state. So when do most of your appointments occur on a direct business level for a direct signing?
Okay. Most of them occur in the afternoon, in the evenings, or on the weekend. Now, there have been times when sometimes it's during the daytime when the attorney can't literally close, or the closer that's in the office can't close. But yeah, most of the time it's afternoons, weekends, the appointments.
Okay, cool. So what I'm hearing is, because it is true that the attorney has a closer in office, right? And I think that's kind of the biggest myth in signing agent states is, well, the attorneys have closers inside the office, and you're confirming that fact in your experience that is true. But what you're also saying is that the borrower can't make it into the office. The closer doesn't leave that office to go out onto the road, to go to the borrower's work, to go to the borrower's house, to go to the borrower's house on the weekend. Is that what you're kind of communicating here in your experience?
That is correct. Yeah, that's correct. They do not leave the office. Borrower can't come in, but they want the business to close. I mean, the signing to close just like anybody else. So yeah, they will call a mobile notary or a certified loan signing agent to go out and do that closing.
That is great. So, I mean, because I think, once again, that's kind of the biggest myth is like, oh, attorneys have closers. And the answer is yes, they do have closers. And they do encourage the borrower to come into the office. But the fact of the matter is, whether you're in an attorney state or escrow state, title state, borrowers don't necessarily take paid time off of work to stop their work schedule, to go into the attorney's office at 2 p.m. on a Tuesday to get the doc signed. So attorneys in attorney states need a mobile closer, mobile signing agent, a mobile signing agent, mobile notary public, to go and be the notary in the evening appointments that the attorneys obviously aren't doing because they're working 8 to 5.
That's correct.
This is great. I mean, honestly, and I think that's probably the biggest myth that we're trying to debunk in your experience. Once again, I don't want people, this is a conversation with a signing agent in an attorney state. Once again, I'm make sure I'm specific with that. Every state's different. Know your state laws, follow your state laws. But here's what we can, I think, is assumed to say from state to state is not all borrowers can take time off of work to go into the attorney's office. Let's say you're a nurse. Let's say you're a dentist. Let's say, you're a bartender that works a lunch shift. Like, not everyone can take time off work. So I think that is kind of not a stretch for other people to say, if they're watching this, that happens. So what are you getting paid on these direct signings in an attorney state?
Anywhere from 90 to 150. If I have to drive far, 200 I've been offered. So yeah.
This is great. So direct business is the 150 to 200 that I always talk about in all my videos. And I love that you are also confirming that. So, let's kind of wrap up this part of the conversation as far as attorney states getting direct. I mean, in your experience, you can get direct business in an attorney state. Would you encourage other signing agents to start market themselves to attorneys?
Absolutely. Don't be afraid of walking in and just introducing yourself, because it is possible for that they will need you at some point in time. Maybe not the first time you go in or the second, but eventually, if you show up enough times and they remember your face and know that you're available and let them know you're available, you will get the call.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's talk about the other part of your business, which is signing services. So you obviously get signing service business. How much of your business currently in North Carolina is direct, and how much of it is signing services?
Right now, about 70% is signing service and 30% of that is direct.
Okay, so let's talk about you building a signing service. Like I said, you have a sustainable signing agent business in North Carolina.
Right.
You're doing $5,000 to $6,000 every single month. So you obviously are getting sustainable business from signing services. Talk about through the way you've created those relationships, the way you're marketing a signing agent. I mean, it's a signing services, and inspire a no attorney, a state signing agent that you can create relationships with signing services in your state.
Okay. Yeah. When I started, I signed up for the services that you said to sign up for, the ones that you recommended. And even though that there are hundreds out there to sign up for, I knew that I needed to be cognizant of building those relationships at a deeper level than just on the surface. And I didn't want to be getting calls from like 50 different signing services, trying to keep up with all of it. I wanted to be more streamlined. So I intentionally reached out to just a few, made myself known. When I saw those signings come through, if I didn't get it, I would just call them and say, hey, I'm available. I know you've never used me before, but I am available in my area. You may not have anybody in North Carolina that is a preferred signing agent, but I would love to be on your list. And I just continue to keep building that relationship deeper and deeper with those schedulers.
I love it. And that's what we teach in the loan signing system, right? It's just to make sure that you're always creating relationships. You're using the script when you first call, so you understand you're communicating exactly the value that you add. And then more importantly, you're always just helping build a relationship and showing value. So, for signing agents out there, regardless if you're in an attorney state or regardless if you're in an escrow state, it's all about building those deeper relationships, and you can build them in an attorney state. Now, what I think is really cool is that what you need to understand in an attorney state is, because the attorneys do most of the daytime closings, in fact, almost all of them, right? It's really important to focus on that relationship with signing services. So, and able to create a sustainable business in an attorney state, it's definitely what you want to do is make sure you have those deep relationships with signing services, because frankly, the majority of business in an attorney state will come from signing services.
Yes.
Do you find in your state that a lot of the signing service business is North Carolina properties or properties that originate outside of North Carolina?
I think it's a good mix of both. I get calls for people that are moving out of the state, but one signer's here in North Carolina, the other one may be someplace else, or they're moving to another state and they're from here. So yeah, there are a good majority of them that are North Carolina, but also a good majority that I see. And I think it just kind of depends on the tide, I guess, of what's happening in the market too, as far as who's buying, which states they're coming from or going to.
I think there's two things that I think I want to touch point for attorney state signing agents is the reason that you're doing North Carolina properties is because what city are you in? I apologize. I should have asked at the beginning.
I'm in Gastonia, North Carolina, just outside of Charlotte.
Okay, so what's another major city in North Carolina?
Raleigh.
Okay, so the loan can originate in Raleigh, but since the borrower obviously is in Charlotte, that's why the attorney is using a signing service to locate you across the state. And I think that's important. A lot of people think, oh, well, you can't do, once again, I'm trying to debunk some myths. You can't do an attorney, be a signing agent in an attorney state. So what I'm trying to help people understand is, if the borrower may be in North Carolina, but if they're not where the attorney is located,
right,
then obviously they have to use a signing agent in another part of the state to get the appointment done. And so that is why there's business for signing services for signing agents in an attorney state, is because you can still close a North Carolina transaction, but we can't make the assumption that if you're a mortgage officer in Raleigh, that the borrower is going to be in Raleigh. The
Right.
borrower could be in in Charlotte. They could be anywhere else. So that is why I wanted to bring that up. And number two is that signing agents in an attorney state can obviously do loans that don't originate in North Carolina. So if someone in California was in North Carolina, but the loan originated in California, you can do those. So the signing service business is prevalent for signing agents in attorney states with signing services because of those two reasons. The borrower's not always in the same city the loan originated, but in the same state, and then out of state. So it's also great business for them. So, you know, this is such a great interview because there's so many attorney state signing agents are like, I don't get it, I can't do it. So let's talk about marketing to direct business, right? So, you know, I always tell signing agents that, you know, you can get business in attorney states. Once again, legal disclaimer, Debra's not an attorney. She's just going to share her experiences that's worked for her. So follow your state laws. But nonetheless, you know, as far as getting direct business, because I think everybody wants to make the $150 to $200 like you're talking about. What would you say to a signing agent that says, you know, you can't get direct business from an attorney in an attorney state?
I would tell them that that's not true, because I do believe that if you are focused on that relationship, if everyone knows an attorney or a real estate person who in the state who works with an attorney, because we're an attorney state, right? And with that, you can still build that relationship. I remember the first time that I realized that there was an attorney, real estate attorney office near me. I actually was afraid to go in at first, but then I was like, no, I'm just going to go in, introduce myself, leave my card, and then I'll come back later on at a different time. Because I was like, I didn't know them, they didn't know me, but I was willing to make that step and introduce myself.
I love it. So what is the one big tip right now you can help a signing agent with in trying to get direct business with an attorney in your experience?
Treat it just like anything else. I mean, they're people just like we are. They need our business and we need theirs. And I think if you go in and show that you have value and that you can bring value to their business, they will use you eventually. Maybe not today, but they will eventually use you. Yeah.
And so what I'm hearing in there is like, you know, it sounds like you follow up often. And so, you know, talk about like how you follow up, and not necessarily what you say, but, you know, your process following up. So, I mean, are you going to attorney's office once, twice, three times? Like kind of inspire a signing agent in an attorney state on, you know, how many times you're kind of going through the attorneys to try to get them to use you?
I have like a rotation that I use of just a few offices. I don't try to go to all of them in Charlotte, but I do have a couple of key offices that I have built a relationship with that I do go to about once every 2 weeks. Every week, I might call the scheduler that's there and say, hey, I have some availability later this week. If you've got anything in my area, just, you know, let me know. I'll be glad to handle those closings for you. Just kind of keeping in touch, and then showing up with coffee, showing up with bagels for the group. If I do a closing, I will show up and give the Starbucks cards to my scheduler or the attorney as well. So I do my follow-ups quite frequently.
And it sounds like you always show gratitude. And I think, you know, it's like just understanding that, look, you just gave me $200. You put food on my family's plate, and thank you, you know. And I think the gratitude is what you were displaying in that conversation, and the weekly follow-ups is great. And I hope we inspired some signing agents in an attorney state that, you know, you can take marketing principles like you learned the loan signing system, and you can apply them to attorneys, escrow officers, mortgage officers. So just because you're in an attorney state, in Debra's experience, once again, follow your state laws, that, you know, business is out there for you, you know. So kind of wrapping up here, you know, I know a lot of people really love, you know, to hear the journey of why you became a signing agent. And I know, and the fact that you've built a $5,000 a month business in less than a year. So, you know, why did you become a signing agent, Debra, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, I was actually looking for something that I could do part-time, but have full-time income. My husband had gotten sick, and I wanted to be here for him as the caregiver. And I didn't want there to be any question about him getting two doctors, him having his appointments taken care of, the family order staying consistent. I didn't want there to be any hiccups in that. But I wanted something that would literally give me full-time income on part-time hours. That was what I was looking for.
And are you saying that you get full-time income on part-time hours now that you're a signing agent?
Absolutely, absolutely get it. And even now, I don't even think of myself as working full time at this, because I'm working like literally 24, maybe 30 hours a week, and making this kind of income. So it's very possible. You just have to stay relentless at it and build those relationships, and let the attorneys know, the signing services know that you are available and that you can help them build their businesses. Yeah.
I love it. So let me ask, and first off, that's super inspiring, because I think everybody, I mean, especially you have a care one, there's people out there who are caring for loved ones, and want that extra income and want the flexibility and want to be able to make $5,000 a month working 25 hours a week. I hope people picked up on that amazing statement. 25 hours a week, making $5,000. I don't know what other business in America, with the low overhead that we have, that you can work 25 hours and make $5,000. And she is in an attorney state. I love it so much. So let's kind of exit the conversation with this. I always try. There's a lot of signing agents who are new looking at this. What is something, looking back a year later? So you first got your first signing August last year. You were super nervous or whatever. Right. Now looking back a year later, what do you look back and go, wow, I should never have been nervous at all, but not knowing what you know now? Is there something that you can kind of leave the viewer with, of like, man, don't overthink this part?
Right. My goal was to not overthink it, because I didn't have the time to waste. I didn't have time to waste. But with that being said, is everyone's journey is going to be their journey as they embark on becoming a loan signing student or becoming a loan signing agent. I think it's really, really important that you know why it is that you're doing what you're doing, and to stay relentless at it. Just know that there's a process, but trust the process. When I actually did the training, I literally said, I'm going to follow step by step. I may not be able to implement every single thing consistently all the time, but I'm going to try and implement. Once I master something, I'm going to add one more layer. And eventually the business was coming, and it's like, I'm turning away calls because I can't get it into my day because of other things I have going on. But usually I'll get a call before they'll even send out, a blast. Debra, are you available? Can you do this? And that makes me feel good, because then I know I've done everything that the loan signing system speaks of, and that I'm living it, and that they're seeing it in my work. So yeah.
My heart is full, Debra. I'm so happy for you and your family. So I have some exciting news to share with everybody right now, is that Debra is the newest loan signing system ambassador. She's going to be the ambassador for Attorney State. So I'm going to put a link to Debra's private Facebook group down below in the comments. If you're not a loan signing system student, that's okay. Debra's going to do her best to answer anything, lead a group, and what's worked for her. Once again, Debra is not an attorney, but she's someone who's experienced success on a consistent basis now for over a year on getting business in an attorney state, and she's more than happy to share what's worked for her. She's more than happy to help encourage and inspire and lead signing agents. So if you're in an attorney state and you're watching this, let me say, this is your amazing, amazing loan signing system ambassador, and she's willing to do whatever she can in between her signings, in between taking care of her family, to help you grow your signing agent business. So Debra, thank you so much. I think we inspired some attorney state signing agents of what's possible in attorney state. And I'm going to end with this. She's not a lawyer. This is just her experiences she's sharing. I hope some of her experiences inspires you to go out, get business in your attorney state, Debra, thank you so, so much for everything you do, not only for the loan signing system family, but just being an amazing ambassador I know you're going to be.
Thank you so much, Mark. I truly appreciate the opportunity.
You're
I'm
welcome.
excited to get started.
All right, bye.
Bye.